actually have two special guests who are going to speak to you guys for just a few moments. April is Donate Life Month, and Mountain Vista is partnering with the Arizona Donor Network. I sent out an email this morning, and I apologize for the short notice to those of you that didn't get it in time. So we were all so inspired by the presentation that happened over lunch that we asked our speaker if he would please stay and come talk to you guys during bingo, and then Tony asked him if he would come talk to our managers group in the meeting that's happening a little bit later today. So he's going to spend our afternoon with us and share with you a little bit about his story, because it's an important story, and we want to kind of dispel some of the myths that you guys may have, and also let you know that if you are already an organ or tissue donor, if you would reaffirm your commitment on some cards that Renee's going to pass out to you. Mountain Vista, okay, so you guys already have them. Mountain Vista gets credit, so to speak. We turn them in. All the hospitals kind of have a rally to get people more educated and reaffirm people's commitment and get them signed up. And we have a nice little reusable tote bag for you that you'll all get if you sign up, because you can't have too many of these. And then we've got some other little swag and goodies that we've given you guys, because it's really important that you understand the significance and the impact this makes in people's lives. So without further ado, I'm going to let Bob Kelly come up here and talk to you for a few moments. Bob was a patient here at Mountain Vista, and he just, you know, his whole life has changed because of some pretty amazing nurses down in the ICU, and then where his care went from there. So I asked him to come talk to you for a few moments, and then we'll get bingo going afterwards, okay?
Great, thanks a lot, Michelle. I'm really glad I was able to come and talk to everybody. Back in 2012, I got introduced to needing a new liver. I didn't know I had a problem until then. And one day, I went a little nutsy and walking around the house without any clothes on, trying to put my underwear on my head, having trouble finding my bottom when I went to the toilet. I knew it was back there, I just couldn't find it. I was suffering from a thing called HE, hepatic encephalopathy. That's a mouthful. The 911 was called, paramedics came, they asked me a bunch of questions. As far as I was concerned, Lincoln was president, it was 1969. They sent me over here to the hospital, brought me here, and the ER room determined that I was suffering from a high ammonia content, and that's what was causing the problem. So what did they do? They loaded me up with a thing called lactulose. It's a lovely solution that became my friend through my wait for a liver transplant. It keeps your ammonia level down. Well, while I was in the hospital here, I was kept in overnight thanks to the hospitalist who said that I needed to stay one more day to determine what was wrong. Well, I ended up staying longer because they ran a bunch of tests on me. And they found out that I had stage 3 kidney failure and stage 4 liver failure. And my liver failure was a thing called NASH. It's non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. It's normally considered fatty liver disease. He said, but in my case, my liver wasn't that fat. He said the thing was, I had this disease for 30 to 35 years and didn't know it until what happened to me that day. Well, I was keeping my thing called MEL down in the 20s, which is the model for end-stage liver indetermination. What they do is they have a formula for blood work to determine what your survival chances are without a transplant. And the higher the number means the higher the rank you are on the transplant list. Well, up through November, I was keeping it on down. After Thanksgiving, I went and fell in the shower, and the paramedics were called again to get me up. I convinced them I was still in good shape, and I went and, I was feeling really bad in the morning, and I told my wife we had to come to the hospital again. Now, I had been in and out of the emergency room many times due to this HE problem. And everyone who suffers from liver disease eventually gets to this point. Well, I had finally risen my MEL to a number high enough that I was in really bad shape. In fact, I was the sickest person in the region, and our region includes California. I had a thing called a MEL of 47, and the scale only goes to 40. Well, I went and came in here. They treated me for my liver failure problems, and they also treated me for my kidney failure problems because my kidneys were in stage 4 also. I had received a few blood work transfusions where they go and scrub your blood, what's that called, dialysis. And I was stable enough to be transferred down to my transplant hospital in Tucson. Well, I got down there and I was there virtually waiting to either receive a liver or to pass. I didn't have many days left. The head of transplant down there came in and told my family, and I didn't know this till afterwards, that if they didn't find a liver too soon, that they didn't expect me to see Christmas. This was on the 17th. On the 18th of December, I don't know how many people believe in angels. I do now, I didn't before. But I had an angel arrive in my room. It made its presence known,
See that?
and then just disappeared.
Heaven is for real.
On the 19th, the head of transplant came in and advised me that they had found the perfect liver for me, and that they were going to go to Cottonwood that evening and pick it up, and then put it in the next day. 5 o'clock in the morning, I started my surgery. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it was done. I started my new life. Now, getting an organ is a double-edged sword. First, you're really happy for being able to live, another chance. But then you're full of sorrow for the loss that had to occur in order for me to continue on. And I deal with that every day. I'm always thinking about that poor person who had passed. And I hope someday that if something happens to me, I also can help someone else. Now, an important thing to know is that liver donations for organ donation, organ tissue, eye donation, is for all ages, not just the young and healthy. I've run into many cases where elderly people have been on the donation list, and their organs have been donated, and their body parts have been donated, and they've affected the lives of many people. Up to 70 people can be affected by donation of organs, tissue, eyes. It's amazing the number of things they can do with you. And if you're worried about a situation as far as funeral situations go, after the donation process takes place, the funeral home gets the body back. And then they set it up however you want. If you wanted to have cremation, that can be done. If you wanted to dedicate it to science, that can be done. But the things that aren't gone to waste, it isn't a situation where parts of you that even though you can help somebody go to waste because of a funeral. But it's very possible to have an open casket funeral if that's what you wanted. In my case, I've gone on my donation card, I put down in my will as far as I want to donate life first, and then the remains are to go down to the U of A to the medical school, to their medical department to be used for a body for their health. You can do whatever you want. It isn't limited. And please, if you have any questions about organ donation and how it affects your health care, let me know. I'll let you know. I'll get rid of all the myths that are involved. It's very important to be a donor because you could save someone's life and you can live on, whereas you can't once you pass. Thanks a lot.